In this hot real estate market, it's all about appraisals. That's because many people are paying above the listing price and they are waiving their appraisal contingency. So really being able to maximize the value of the appraisal is key to limiting funds to close. Now, here's what you need to know. The appraisal is going to have a big effect on financing, and depending upon where the appraisal comes in, it may affect the overall financing strategy as well. So today I'm going to give you real estate agents some tips on how to maximize the appraised value. And if you happen to be a buyer watching this, then these are things you want to know as well. But before we get started, please do me a favor and follow this channel. I have a true passion for home loan education and I love helping people. So please help me by spreading the word. Okay, so let's get started. I know most homes are vacant and staged right now, so this might not apply. But in the case that sellers are still living in the home, it's wise to coach your sellers on preparing the home for the appraisal process. So cleaning and organizing the house, making sure the dishes are out of the sink and there's no laundry on the floor, and the overall process for preparing a house for showing. This is because appraisers are people, so they feel things, they see things. It really will be a subconscious difference of how the house is going to be perceived. If the home is staged, try to keep the staging in place until after the appraiser has come out and seen the homes for themselves. Another important tip is to give the appraiser any information that the listing agent or the selling agent might know about the property. Most of the time, the information is going to come from the listing agent and the seller, but with our current market and not seeing many appraisal contingencies in place, the seller's agents may be less inclined to put together this package. However, from the lending perspective, I would really encourage all parties to work together to get this information to the appraisers because it is essential regarding the actual appraised value. And especially important for a buyer if they have waived the appraisal contingency and they're using financing. So here's the deal. Here's what would be most important for the appraiser and what should be in a packet that is given to the appraiser during the inspection. First off, making sure that you have the purchase contract with the counteroffers and the most recent addendum, if there is one, on the top. Because we all want to make sure the appraiser knows what the final price is. We submit it to the appraiser with the order, but it's never going to hurt to have it in the package as well. Frankly, believe it or not, sometimes we don't get all the counteroffers and addendums initially. So having it in there, it just is another check and balance to make sure the appraiser knows the final purchase price. Secondly, if there's a listing brochure, flyer of any sort, please put that in the appraisal package. And if there's been any upgrades, recent upgrades, renovations, improvements, make a list of what those are and maybe when they were done and the estimated cost for each improvement. That will be extremely helpful. Now let's talk about square footage. If there was an appraisal done or a measurement of the home done prior, or if there's a discrepancy to which you believe the square footage is between what the county assessor says and the actual, go ahead and address it. Be able to provide information to the appraiser because they're going to measure the property. And as we all know, there are times when the county assessor has one set of square footage numbers when in reality the house is measuring a different square footage. Another important tip is to have info about the area. This is key because the market's moving quickly. If you know that there is a comp and it's pending and it's set to close prior to the appraisal inspection or the appraisal being completed, it's okay. Please communicate with us and with the appraiser because sometimes we're going to wait an extra day or two to allow a pending comp to close. Then it can be evaluated in the appraisal for the buyer. We want the inspection date to be after the comp closes, not before. Please take this information into consideration as this could be a game changer. I recently had this happen where the selling agent asked us to hold off on the appraisal ordering until a pending sale in the neighborhood was going to close. He was right. We did that and that's exactly what happened. The house ended up appraising for the purchase price, but guess what? By looking at the comps, it would have not had that not been a closed comp. So please communicate with us and with the appraiser so we can do everything in our power to coordinate the timing of the appraisal with any pending comps that are out there. In this case, what we ended up doing is we still ordered the appraisal to secure the appraisal assignment and lock in an inspection date, but we gave them the first inspection date that they could go out there, knowing what day the pending home was going to close. Lastly, meet the appraiser. Sometimes the perception is that the appraiser does not want to meet the agents. Listing agents, if you're the one meeting the appraiser and you're putting together the package, know that it's valuable information. You all know the area, you know how you set the value, you know what, if you're pushing the value, you know if there's comps and pendings. And for selling agents, if you're the one meeting the appraiser and you have this information, meet the appraiser at the property. It really does make a difference. So let's face it, in a market that we're seeing most appraisals come in at contract price or slightly below if the buyer was aggressive, this makes a difference. The demand is up and properties are appreciating quickly. If the appraisal comes in low, be sure to watch my video on financing strategies when that happens. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us at 925-395-4212. And if you like today's video, please like it and follow us. Thanks so much.